think it was a natural evolution in the band. When we do our albums, we try and stay away from what we've done at other times, and it was just time for me to move on. And I started singing more melodic things, and one thing led to another, and it just ended up that way. A lot that had to do with it was Beinhorn, our producer. He came in and he'd really push us really hard. He wouldn't take any shit from us whatsoever. He would
no easygoing stuff.
No.
Okay.
He'd really just pull out the best in us, and I'd sit there and be singing melody after melody, be all nope, and I'd get so pissed off. I wanted to fight him so many times.
But I hope you did it.
No,
good.
I love him. He became one of my best friends. I just like the fact that he wasn't intimidated by the band like a lot of producers have been, and really pulled out the best in us. And he got me a vocal coach, which is named Ron Anderson. He's a wonderful guy. He's done everybody in the business, and he really worked with me and taught me how to use my voice. And I brought a lot of different influences from after working on Queen of the Damned and all the orchestral stuff and doing all that stuff. So a lot of things changed in my life, and I became more musical, and I just got better, I think.
Okay. I think uneasiness or hate are still strong key elements in your lyrics. So would you say it's total crap when people say it gets easier when you get older?
No, I think it's the same. I think for going from a kid to adulthood, you still deal with the same stuff, there's still the same dramas. The kids don't grow up. I mean, adults are the biggest kids. They just walk around thinking that they're civilized and grown up, but they're not. You deal with drama every day, and it's real easy for me to draw on that. I call myself, I'm a lot happier than I was back in the day, but I still have a lot of things that go in my life like any human being does, and that's what I draw on for my lyrics.
Yeah, and how would you describe sort of when you write your lyrics? What happens to you? Is it sort of like soul cleansing, or is that too cheap of me to think that? No. You know, when I write, I don't write in a traditional way. I write like stream of consciousness. I sit down with a piece of paper, I have my melody lines in my head, and I just write. I just start writing. I don't even think about what the hell I'm going to write about. And you think about it later, sort of? Yeah, and after I get done writing, sometimes I don't even know what the hell I'm trying to say. Yeah. And it hits me a day or two later, and I go, oh, wow, okay, I get it. It's more from my subconscious than conscious, because if I did it the other way, I'd be trying. And I don't want to. That's why one of the things I don't try. I'm not trying to hate something. I'm not trying to not like something, because that's fake. You're not trying to be nasty. Yeah, yes. It's just stuff that comes out of me, and the feelings I feel. Sometimes I'm just trying to put back in my head, and they come out when I write. So it's a cool thing. I mean. So when you sort of say you write like that, stream of consciousness, it means that actually everything comes out. You're not keeping secrets from your listeners or something. No. It's just all there it is. I've never kept secrets from the listeners. You wouldn't you wouldn't admit it anyway. So. No, I wouldn't admit it, but I don't think anything that bugs me, I just write about it. Okay, and we'll watch the first video, Thoughtless, from KoRn, for you at home in Germany. Music, there's humour. Yeah. On each album, we've done something that was humorous. Unlike, I think, Follow the Leader, we had Cheech and Chong, or the Cheech and Chong cover we did, we had Cheech sing on it. We've had, must have been funny stuff. And always at the end, we've had, our text going off talking. And on this album, I think Beat It Up Right, the song Beat It Up Right was a total S&M fuck song. And that was kind of humorous. People heard it, they're like, what the hell? So it was cool, but that's what I was feeling when I heard that music. Yeah, there's humor in our music sometimes. Do you often sort of realize that your listeners maybe take things really much more serious than the band would? I mean, when we do something humorous, it's obviously humorous. Okay. You know what I mean? You can't get it wrong. Can't get it wrong. Okay. And Beat It Up Right's like it's still in our vein, it's a dark kind of humorous thing. It's talking about getting my ass slapped by getting flogged and all kinds of stuff, so... It's pretty cool. I think they get it. Yeah, okay. This record is a very expensive production. Could you ever imagine sort of to do a very low-budget record? Or is that impossible for KoRn? Well, it's not impossible. We did it on the first album. Yes, of course, when the money wasn't there. Yeah, of course. But, I mean, it takes money for us to
create what we had to do. I mean, we spent a lot of money on this album and moving and renting houses, and the majority of it was spent on keeping our crew on retainers, our whole crew. We paid them when they're not working on the road, so we didn't expect to be off the road that long. Yeah. And we kept paying them, and the bills added up. What are you to do? But, I mean, it was an expensive record, but it was well worth it. The songs that came out of it, I mean, you gotta weigh, and it was worth it, I think.
And if you're paying other people, then why not have expensive records?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we're keeping everybody happy.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
KoRn started off as outsiders, and now you've got lots of followers, bands copying you and stuff. Yeah. Is it difficult to sort of stay an outsider with all the musical success in the industry?
I don't know. I never thought of being in the in crowd in the music business. It's always been that we've always been battling and fighting and trying to push, push the limit with what was going on in music. And now that everybody else come out, we've always like changed up, and we're always like a step ahead, and we're always pushing and trying and finding to get our music through. So I don't think it's hard for us to stay, outsiders.
Yeah, so that's not the way you're thinking. Mm-hmm. Those are outsiders and those aren't. As long as you sort of renew yourself, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. And does it sort of make you really pissed off when you read reviews about KoRn and people sort of write, well, but they're so rich and they must have changed their lifestyle. How come they're still so angry? They must be really happy. Does that piss you off?
Yeah, because rich people are they got problems too, man.
They've got probably most of the problems.
Most of the problems. Having money doesn't change things. When you live in a nice house, everything like that, but you got a whole shitload of problems that come with that. Mm. And then you got family and people and friends wanting to get money from you. It's ridiculous. Yeah. When people write that, that's a ridiculous statement. Obviously, they don't know. I mean, if they came into money, they'd feel like how jacked up it is. It's not. It's unhappy being successful. You have a whole different kind of roles. If you want to get into relationships and marriage, you have to go through all kinds of lawyers, and you have to go through all kinds of. It's not like your average, normal, everyday Joe. It's a total different existence. So.
And money doesn't help you in the head.
It doesn't.
No, not at all.
So all those writers.
We'll watch the next video, Here to Stay.
Right.
If they shut up.
I think we're political, fine. I mean, that's the beauty of music. You can take anything out of it. If you get us being a political band out of it, then fine. That's cool. I mean, I just try to open people's eyes to things that go on in our country. Our country's very uptight, very, very, very uptight. Run by a lot of Christian American people. They're controlling and use God as a weapon to keep people at bay, and it's just ridiculous. A lot of art censored. A lot of kids can't grow up and be different, or they're considered they're outcast.
Very hypocritical.
Yeah, it is.
Hypocritical is the word?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. It's sort of when they're sort of pretending to be good Christians and then they're fucking children or something.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's I like it a lot better over here. People are more open. You can have nudity on television, and God's not coming to kill us. And I mean, in America, you're brought up to think that a naked woman or a naked man is a bad thing, and that right there shows how fucked up we are in the head.
Exactly. That's what makes people sick. Actually,
it makes people sick. That's why there's rapists. I mean, if we would just let people do what they want to do, if there was no victimless, people weren't persecuted for victimless crimes like doing drugs or hurting themselves, who were we to try and stop somebody from hurting themselves? I mean, they want to do drugs, let them do drugs. I mean, it's ridiculous. I could go on forever, but that's what I like singing about sometimes. And I like when Thoughtless talked about the Columbine shootings, and I heard, recently there's been shootings there, and I understand why those things go on, because it's just the way we're raised. Mm-hmm. Parents, at least in America, use the TV as a babysitter, and they don't parent their children. They're not their friends. They don't tell them about, sex and nudity, that it's okay. They don't talk to them about, weapons, guns, stuff like that. I'm a big gun addict. I love guns, and my children are brought up, or my child is brought up around guns, and I've taught him about guns, and he respects a weapon. It's so easy to see. If you take a child and he's been brought up with a gun and shot and fully understands the power of it, take him, put him in a room, and put a kid that's been brought up by TV in a room and give them both guns, you know obviously what would happen. And I think that basically is what's going on.
It's exactly the same like raising your teenage children with alcohol or forbidding them to drink, because always when we had these exchanges with American pupils coming over to Germany, they nearly killed themselves with alcohol with 16 because they were allowed to drink. And all the German kids were sort of going, oh God, calm down, we're allowed to drink, you don't have to kill yourself.
You don't have to kill yourself.
Because they couldn't sort of get it into proportion.
No.
They were nearly killing themselves. It's crazy. But it's the same with everything.
There's just people trying to control, and in America they use God as the factors controlling.
Yeah.
The controlling factor, and it's ridiculous.
Do you think America and the way America sort of deals with its problems has changed drastically since Bush was elected? Or has it always been the same and it doesn't matter who's the leader?
It doesn't matter who's the leader. Oh yeah, I take that back.
It does.
It does. I mean, I remember when Clinton was running the states, and it was good. I mean, there's stuff going on, but he was I don't know. It was weird. I don't get much into it, but I felt good with him being the president. With Bush, he scares me.
Exactly, because he seems to be
a dipshit
and a sick person in a way, and it's sort of like
I think the fact that he's a cowboy. That he's a cowboy. I like to have my cowboy president. I don't know. It seems like sometimes he's just not all there. Like someone's like pulling the strings behind him, telling him what to say,
and it's sort of always nearly about to explode. It's sort of always dangerous, and with Iraq now, the whole world is looking to America and thinking, what will he do next? It's sort of,
I know, it's ridiculous. It's like this on this crusade. It's just like his father. They like being in war.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Maybe they should have been nicer to the Bush children when they were in school or something.
They should have something.
Had more sex when they were teenagers.
Exactly.
Or drugs or something.
Drugs, sex, not told to go in the hell.
Thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you for having me on.